Well, we are in Chanderi, a key part of the Guna constituency. Jyotiraditya Scindia has been campaigning over here with the help of his family. It's not the first time that he's doing it, but Mahanaryman Scindia, who is with us, is a key part of the election process as far as the Scindias are concerned, as far as the BJP is concerned. Aryaman, it's not the first time that you've been campaigning for your father. How has it been this time? Because he's up through the nights, through the days, and is it the same for you?
For all of us, actually, we're putting in 150%, not 100%. And it's been great, honestly, coming back to Guna, Shivpuri, meeting the people, seeing the excitement on their faces and seeing the joy of us coming back, and also reconnecting with families and people that we had lost touch with. That has also been a big process. Old families that we had lost some connection with, going back to them, re-establishing that connection, that familial connection, and really pushing the elections forward. We've been really focusing.
And so you are now fourth generation. Your great-grandmother, your grandfather, your dad, and you.
Correct.
Is this a career for you?
I wouldn't say exactly. I was going to answer that. I wouldn't say I'm joining politics or I'm entering politics in any way.
Why not?
Because I'm actually focusing on my startup. So I want to make that a huge success first. And I want to be an example for the youngsters of India, where we kind of push towards a new India where we are creating employment rather than looking for employment. So I want to be that example rather than standing on a stage and telling youngsters, you got to start a startup, you got to start something here. I want to be that example. So I'm focusing on that first, making it successful, and then let's see which doors open later.
So this door is not closed. It won't be for you, but...
I mean, my father's always said, never close any doors. So all doors are open. But right now, my focus is on my startup.
When you do campaign over here, and I notice your dad is in one part of Guna, you're in another part, your mum is also campaigning over here. It's a huge constituency. I've been driving around. It takes forever. How is it a real family affair in terms of telling the people about what the BJP brings to this area?
So definitely, firstly, as you know, BJP is a party that our family has been associated since the very beginning. My great-grandmother, Rajmata Jyotiraditya Scindia, was one of the founding members of the BJP. So it's very different, of course, coming back to the party and seeing how it functions, and it's actually very surprising to see how efficiently it functions in terms of data analysis, in terms of ground workers, in terms of ground support. But in terms of telling people, I think the BJP in the last 10 years has done an astonishing amount of development. Whether you look at roads, the road infrastructure, whether you look at the airport infrastructure, I mean, building airports in 16 months, I mean, that is something quite astounding. People thought, this thing would take 2-3 years to build. Looking at other kinds of support to even the poor. So you look at the Awas Yojana, you look at Ayushman. So the kinds of schemes that have come out, you look at Startup India for the youth, and you look at Atal Innovation Center for the youth. So the impact has been huge on the ground, and I can see that in terms of the energy of the people that are coming in, especially, and I want to put immense amount of focus because I interact a lot more with the youth than any other kind of demographic. So from them, I see a huge amount of excitement, a huge amount of energy that's coming out. And they also are really understanding that now India is coming to a new chapter in its life. It's shedding its colonialism. It's becoming a superpower of its own. And it's focusing on the two key areas, which is Atmanirbhar Bharat and Viksit Bharat.
Women are obviously a very key part of the campaign for the BJP and for your father as well. How is it an area that you are focusing on, not just the rights of women, but women and development?
Correct. That's a very good point that you've raised. And as I keep speaking to even young women, right, what's coming out is that I'm happy to see that women are now empowered to kind of do things such as they want to enter the sports area and they want to have good infrastructure for them to excel at sports. They want medical institutions and science institutions in their particular region. And I'm very happy to see, like I've seen so many stories of even women focusing and studying. We discuss a lot of this with the youth, is the term called jugaad. So they do a lot of jugaad in terms of even their studies. So they are doing online courses, they're talking and interacting with other students online, they're looking at YouTube videos, trying to learn more. So their kind of whole focus and their whole thought process towards excelling and doing something has completely changed. Whereas 10 years ago you'd see women saying, no, I'll get married and I'll stay at home and I'll look after the family. That has completely changed.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to see that, because then it gets me excited to do more projects and get more development to that area.
Is there a connect among younger voters with the Yuvraj and your father, the Maharaj? Or is that sort of changing, that dynamic changing? I didn't see it changing yesterday when I was out with your father. There's still that immense reverence and the importance of the family over here. But how do you see it among younger people?
So amongst younger people, I try and be as down to earth as possible. Even with the youth, we're high-fiving each other,
Right.
and we're playing sports. So yesterday I was playing football, then last night I played basketball.
Right.
Then they went to the gym together with the youth. So it's a different kind of way of kind of connecting with them, more on the field where you shed all the baggage that you have or all the surname that you have. You're all equal.
Yeah.
And that's what I love doing. Honestly, the field is something that the field has taught me, is that's one place where everyone is equal. It doesn't matter who you are.
Absolutely.
You're together on the field and you're enjoying yourself and you're building a connection. And that's kind of how we do it as well. Whether it's cricket, whether it's football, whether it's volleyball, we're playing constantly with the youth. We're interacting even in private universities and colleges. We're talking about startups. We're trying to hear what the innovation that's coming out of there. We're trying to understand what kind of trends and passions are coming out in hyper-local regions as well.
Sure.
And I'll give you an example of that. For example, we're standing in Chanderi, right? There has been a huge amount of focus from the youth as well as the women in Chanderi to make it more of a textile hub. My father worked on it 10 years ago, where he brought the handloom industry back to life. And now even the youth are more keen to kind of bring that historic culture
Sure.
of handloom, of textile, of all these ancient traditions back. So that's an area that it's an area
Sure.
of passion for me as well, and that's an area that I'd like to work with them hand in hand on as well.
Absolutely. If I don't return with a Chanderi sari for my wife, then I'm in deep trouble. I've been getting messages. If you're
No,
there, forget about the work, get the sari.
I don't think you saw my video as well. I had the same request from my mother.
Right.
I was here last week and I went to a weaver and I saw something that I liked for her, because she had told me, just see if you likes anything. I want to pick up something. And I had to video call her
Sure.
from the shop and ask her whether you like this or not. So don't worry, we all deal with the same issues.
Absolutely. A final question. That's the historic fort.
Yes.
This villa is hundreds of years old. That's where you're staying. What is your association with this area where I've spent the morning?
So first of all, this is Kila Koti.
Yeah.
The fort essentially was built over 400-500 years ago.
What's inside the fort?
So the fort it's like ruins,
Right.
but we are trying to restore it, and we're doing a sound and light show
I see.
inside the fort, so that
Yeah.
people come and kind of learn more about the history
Yeah.
of Chanderi. But Kila Koti itself has been turned into kind of a tourist hub,
Yeah.
where we've now opened rooms and refurnished the whole area so that people can come and stay here, enjoy the fort, learn more about the
Right.
history. But this area specifically has been extremely close to the family for centuries.
Yeah.
We have built a lot of infrastructure around here, such as dams, lakes, irrigation lines, railway lines, road infrastructure, focused on textile mills. So the people really understand that, and in fact they teach me a lot about the family history when I go
Sure.
to these small pockets, and it's really fascinating for me. For example, I learned yesterday that there are 12 villages that I met that we had actually established from Rajasthan.
Wow.
So we had got people from Rajasthan to Chanderi and Mungauli, and we had established villages for them in these areas and given them the land. And till date, these people recognize that
And remember
and remember that. And when I go there, they immediately tell me that, listen, we don't care about any political rhetoric.
Yeah.
We'll talk about our needs and wants post the election. Let's win the election together. We're already very grateful for what the family has done. So stories like this really also inspire me about the family and my culture and my background.
Fantastic. Good luck
so
for you
much.
on the election trail with your father campaigning for Jyotiraditya Scindia.
Thank
It's
you
been
so
wonderful
much.
speaking to you.
Wonderful speaking to you.
Well, there you have it, a small chat with the Gen Next of the Scindias. Aryaman is now he's already started meeting various people, and he's going to be starting the process of campaigning in a few minutes from now. I'm in Chanderi, a key part of the Guna constituency. Behind me, the renowned Chanderi fort that's belonged to the erstwhile royal family, the Scindias. For the Congress party, facing up to the Scindias in this constituency is going to be a real challenge. They fielded Yadvinder Singh. He's making his debut as far as Lok Sabha elections are concerned. Back in 2019, Jyotiraditya Scindia was still with the Congress. He'd actually lost the elections over here, but things have changed since then. He's joined the BJP. He's seen to be a strong candidate the Congress will have to fight against.